Hi friends, welcome to another video where I give my feedback to your videos that you sent me. Today I'm gonna look at Nadine's video. She did a cover by a Sarah McLachlan song, I Love You. So let's look at it. Hi, in case you don't know me yet, my name is Freya. I am a professional singer and vocal coach from Germany. I have lots of experience in singing opera, musical theater, jazz, rock, pop, really anything that floats my boat. And if you would like to apply to have your video looked at right here on YouTube where I give feedback, you can click the link below and send me your application. Okay, let's get started. Okay, very nice voice. I love your voice. And what I noticed right away is that you had time, but your breathing inward was not open. It's really important to have a nice breath inward because that is how you're going to be able to sing outward. If you don't take in enough air, you don't really build up that support, then you're not going to have a really well supported singing tone outward. So really taking your time not to only have an open breath when you inhale. So instead of, I'm exaggerating a bit, but you want to make sure you're opening up your throat. That's really important. No constrictions, nothing blocking the air coming inward, nice and open, well supported, with good expansion around your ribs. And then when you exhale, just in that first phrase, I can tell you a lot already, your soft palate is not very lifted and your throat is quite narrow. That pharyngeal space, that is quite small, and you can get so much more resonance out of your work here by just opening that up. Stretched from ear to ear. So it's really hard to understand all the words because it's hard to distinguish I'm exaggerating a little bit here just to stress the point. Let me just demonstrate. A, E, O, U. That is the proper sound of all the vowels. When I do them nasal, is like this. When I do them more nasally, that's how they sound. See, there's not a huge distinguishing factor anymore, and it's really hard to understand. So apart from your consonants, which of course are also important, in order to get a better sound, it is just a good idea to look at your vowels. Really look at what are the vowel positions. Think more vertical, not your jaw, but now your tongue lifts just a little bit, but your pharynx back here in your throat, that soft palate, that stays open, it stays lifted. E, O, U. You want to make sure that back here, this right here, that it stays open. To see you walking down the road. So what I notice also, you have a breathy tone, which, I think it's okay. But just to let you know, when you are in a breathy tone, when you sing higher, you have the tendency to easily get into head register or more of a mix. It's very ambiguous when it comes to voice color. So if you want that on purpose, that is totally okay. But probably there could be some chest voice also on top. Just making you aware of there is a big difference in sound, whether you're using head voice, chest voice, or a mix, breathy or non-breathy. We meet at the line. So, and then your intonation, of course, could use a little bit more work. It's a little bit sharp here and there, and it's a little bit off when it comes to pitch accuracy. But I think you have a good ear. I can hear that. I think really having that better support and better inward breath, grounding yourself, expanding when you inhale, and then using that support to control much better when you're exhaling and singing, of course. I think that's going to help you control a lot better. And then, of course, minimizing that breathiness in the tone also can help you to not push outward too much. Here's the difference. When I push outward, it is a lot of work. But when I don't push outward so much, it's not so much work. My breath lasts much longer, and I'm much better supported. Makes a big difference. I stare for a while. And you're still quite in head voice a lot. So when you sing in head voice, but it's not really that high in your voice, when you push it and you want to try to sing louder in head voice that is actually quite low for head voice range, it easily gets sharp. Oh, it's really hard for me to actually sustain a really nice head voice tone this low because it's quite low in the voice. So it's much easier just to say in chest voice, da 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 da. And I don't really know this song that well, I have to admit. That is just something that helps you have a grip on where your pitch lands. The world around us disappears. So yeah, intonation. It's just you and me on my island of all. Okay, let's go up to here. I always tell everyone, let's look at a clip that's about a minute or so because there's a lot I can say and it just kind of repeats a lot. So here is the summary. Work on your posture. And then when you inhale, be very intentional about it. Work on your inward breath. It's really important. So you have an open breath with good posture so you can expand your ribs. And then when you breathe outward and of course vocalize, you have more compression, more control, and then pay attention to the registers. Make sure you know the difference between head voice and chest voice and that you know how to intentionally either be in head voice or chest voice, and that you know where your break is in your voice. And then of course, you can work with a degree of breathiness. You want to try to have a little bit more vocal cord closure, probably a little bit more control, because it is much easier then you don't have to work as hard. And lastly, of course, always work on an open throat so you have a good placement of all the vowels. The consonants are important, but for you, I think working on the vowels to not get lip lazy or soft palate lazy or tongue lazy, you really have to work it so you can create the shapes that will allow, first of all, for the best resonance, and second of all, allow your audience to understand you much better, which, you know, it is so much more fun to listen to someone where you can understand every single word that they sing versus someone who's like, you just have no idea what they're really singing. I've heard singers, I'm a German, and I've listened to the radio and I wondered, what language is that person singing in? And then I turned it up and I kept listening. And after about a minute into the song, I realized that the person singing in German, and I was like, whoa, that was so nasal. I could not understand a single word they were singing up to 1 minute into the song, which is kind of crazy. So these are my tips for you. Your voice has a beautiful timbre, so that is really good. You just want to work on the accuracy part of things because that is going to make a big difference between sounding like an okay singer or sounding like a really great singer. Thank you so much for sending the video. That does take a lot of courage to put yourself out there. And for everyone else, if you want to send me your video so I can give you feedback right here on YouTube, again, the link is below. Send me your application. I will look at your video for up to 1 minute, and I'm sure I can teach some great lessons. Have a most wonderful day. If you have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing for more great singing tips and analyses such as this one right here. And join my free Facebook group. It's on Facebook under Master Your Voice. And check out my website at masteryourvoice.tv for tons of free resources. I have a free 5-day belting challenge. I have a free 7 days to perfect support course. I have an audio warm-up that you can use every day for your warming up routine, and tons of other goodies that you can download for free. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you soon.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch